Hello, good evening. So, welcome. So, I'm back. If you're still here, I was here 10 minutes ago. But now I'm by myself, so it's just me for this hour, which I hope is okay. So, just to introduce myself, so I know some of you are still joining. So, welcome to this 7 o'clock webinar this Tuesday. So if you're watching, please say hello in the comments. Tell me about yourself and also tell me how was your Easter. Okay, so tell me what you did for Easter. If you made a nice dinner or if you video chatted with family or friends, please let me know. So just to introduce myself, okay, so my name is Lisa. My name is Lisa. I am 29 and I'm from Ireland. Okay, so I'm from Ireland and I've been living in Italy for 2.5 years now. So 2.5 years. Okay, so that is me. Before I became a teacher, I used to work in Dublin and I worked in marketing. Okay, so I decided to change. Okay, so if you're watching, please write to me, say hello, and tell me about your Easter. So first of all, I can explain a little bit about my Easter. So I am obviously the same as everyone, staying at home. So I had a video call with some of my family, and I also had a video call with some of my friends as well. So just to catch up, to say hello. And yeah, it was nice. Had some chocolate, did a little bit of baking. So yeah, that was my Easter. Okay, so what I'm going to be talking about in this webinar. Okay, so I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about personalities. Okay, so talking about some vocabulary relating to personalities, and also just kind of different ways to describe, okay, different types of personalities. So some vocabulary to do with this, okay, and also just describing. So practicing describing your own personality. Okay, so maybe describing certain things about yourselves. So guys, we want this to be interactive, so please write to me. You can write in the comments, introduce yourself. Okay, so you can introduce yourself and tell me about your Easter and tell me about yourself. Okay, so just to talk about what we're going to do. Okay, so while you're writing to me. So as I said, looking at some personality types, so some particular personality types that we have. Also describing people, so practicing descriptions of other people relating to personality, obviously. And then some practice with some particular compound adjectives that we have in English, okay, when it comes to personality descriptions and describing people. Okay, so I can see a few of you have joined. So please write to me in the comments, say hello, and tell me about your Easter. Okay, so tell me what you did for Easter. If you had a nice Easter, I know it's not a normal or a typical Easter. But please, yeah, let me know what you were up to. I want to hear from you guys this evening. Okay, so I'm going to wait for you guys to say hello. But also, something I'm going to describe. So about how I would describe my personality. Okay. I actually, in our previous, I don't know if some of you saw our previous webinar, we were talking about nature versus nurture. And we were talking about how you are as a person, if it's influenced by your environment or by genetics. So we were discussing that a bit. But also, kind of personality is obviously influenced by these types of things. So how you are as a person is probably a result of how you grew up or also your family as well. So let us know what you think. Okay, perfect. So one other thing. Okay, so take a look at this. So I'm just going to jump ahead a bit and then we'll come back to the quiz. Okay, so. Okay, so to talk about introvert versus extrovert? Okay, and guys, as I said, please write in the comments and introduce yourself. Maybe tell me a little bit about yourself, okay? Because I don't want to be just me talking. I want to have a discussion with you as well. Okay, so just to kind of start talking about personality. Okay, so introvert versus extrovert. So tell me, are you an introvert or an extrovert? Okay, are you an introvert or an extrovert? So tell me what you think. Okay. So personally, it's quite funny because I used to be, so I would say when I was younger, I used to be more introverted, more shy. Okay. So I definitely used to be more introverted. But naturally, I think kind of as I became older and as I grew up, I'm more of an extrovert, a lot more of an extrovert. um, so I'm a very open person. Okay, so just I'm sure you know what it means, but yeah, an extrovert is someone who's very open, very kind of honest, very friendly. So generally, person who I would say gets their energy from other people, also from things, from events, things like that. Okay, excellent. So welcome, guys. I'm starting to get some of your comments now. So Valeria says, "Hi, I'm Valeria from Como. Welcome. I remember you from before. I spent my Easter at home. It was good, even though I felt a bit nostalgic, as I usually meet my nephews from Apulia on Easter." Okay, yeah. Yeah, I can imagine it's a bit difficult not to see family for Easter. Really good. Thanks for sharing. Excellent, Valeria. And Francesco, welcome, Francesco, as well. So you said I think that's just autocorrect. I can say that generally so remember we say I'm an extrovert. Okay. So when we say I'm or I am, we say an extrovert or an introvert. Okay, extrovert or introvert. Okay, so we can just say it like this, an extrovert or an introvert. Okay, and another way to say that as well is maybe I'm an introverted person as well, but that's longer. It's a longer way to say. Okay, really good, Francesco. And Valeria, you can let me know as well. What do you think? Are you an extrovert or an introvert? Excellent, Francesco. So you're from Naples, and obviously you also spent your Easter at home. Yeah, I can imagine. Of course. Excellent. Really, really good. Okay. So then, what I would like you guys to do as well, so before we talk a little bit about what's on screen, is how would you describe your personality? Okay, so how would you describe your personality? Okay, so we said about introvert, extrovert, but maybe to expand a little bit. Okay, so what would you say about yourself to describe your personality? Okay, so just to practice our descriptions as well. Okay, and while you're taking a look at this as well, so you can describe yourself, and then we're going to also take a look at the types of personality that are required for different jobs. Okay, required for different jobs. Okay, so in the case of maybe for yourselves, maybe your personality is, so we would say, my personality is suited. Okay, my personality is suited to type of work. Okay, so just to explain type of work. Because suited to, so when I say this is suited to, it's like it's good, it's something that it's useful for. Okay, it's suited to. So I can say my personality is suited to teaching because I talk a lot. Okay. So no, I think I'm a very approachable person. I'm also confident, so I don't have any problem speaking in front of people. Also, I pay a lot of attention to others. I'm considerate of others. So that's obviously very useful when you're a teacher as well, trying to pay attention to the students. So we can say suited to a type of work, a particular type of work. Okay, so let me know and maybe also share, like I said, the descriptions of your own personalities. Okay. Perfect. So how would you describe your own personality? And then, so if you don't want to describe yourself, which is totally fine as well, we can talk about what types of personality are required for these jobs. Okay, so different ones you can give your opinion. So president, police officer, musician, doctor, teacher, or your own job. Okay, so your own job. Okay, excellent. So Valeria, you've said I'm generally, okay, so remember, I'm generally an extrovert. Okay, I'm generally an extrovert. So we say an extrovert, or I'm generally extroverted. Okay, extroverted. Okay, so we can say both extroverted or extrovert. Okay. Okay, so I'm generally an extrovert, but it depends on the situation. For example, when there is someone which I consider unpleasant, I hardly talk to him or her. I totally agree with that. Exactly. So yeah, depending on the situation, in that case, you become more closed, more closed. Okay, really, really good. Depends on the situation. That's excellent. So usually this is a really small thing, but if we're talking about someone, so if there's someone who I consider, okay, someone who I consider, just be more correct because we're talking about a person. Okay, excellent. So Francesco says about a teacher. So a teacher needs to be, so remember, an extrovert or extroverted. So we can say one or the other, we put an before extrovert. And open-minded. Excellent. Exactly. So open-minded. Yeah, exactly. So they need to be open-minded because you have to deal with a lot of different people with different types of opinions. Fantastic. Okay, really good. Let me know if you have any ideas on these. Okay, how would you describe what that type of person needs to be? Okay, the type of person needs to be. Or also what they shouldn't be as well. So they shouldn't be a certain way. Unfortunately, we have the circumstances with some presidents that they're not what they should be. So you can use these as examples, okay, as examples. Lovely, Valeria. That's a lovely description. So I'm creative, open-minded, and fun-loving. Fantastic. Okay, really good. That's a lovely description. Okay, excellent. So then you can give me your opinions on these types of people, okay? These types of people, the types of jobs, what types of personalities that they require. Hello, welcome, Marcelo. Hello, thank you for joining. Fantastic. Okay, really, really good. So, Marcelo, if you've just joined, we're just talking about personality. So if you want, you can describe your own personality and also what you think. Okay, so what you think these types of jobs, what type of personality they need. Okay, what type of personality they need. Okay, and Francesco says about musicians. So remember, a lot of the time, okay, a lot of the time. So we just need to put in the there. A lot of the time, musicians are introverted, okay, are introverted and close. Okay, so I would say maybe in their own world, we might say, so closed in their own world with few contact with so with others, okay, with not much contact with others. Okay, so yeah, sometimes, yeah, they can be, so we would often say they can be in their own world, in their own world. Okay, so in their own world with few or little contact with others. Okay, in their own world. Like this. So often, sometimes we say to be away in your own world, and maybe also kind of closed off from things. Okay, closed off from things. Also, so musicians, we talked about teachers, Also, maybe you can talk about your own job, what type of personality it needs. Olga, welcome. Yes, exactly. That's what I think that's just a typo. So Trump. Yeah, the president shouldn't be like Trump. Exactly. So he should not have that personality. Definitely not. So we can say, for example, Trump is closed-minded. So closed-minded, for sure. He's closed-minded. So the opposite of we were talking about being open-minded. Um, so closed-minded. And also, yeah, unfortunately, ignorant as well. Very ignorant. Excellent. Okay, really good example, Marcella. So a police officer must be serious. Yeah, exactly. Be serious. Yeah, because they have to be dependable and reliable in difficult situations. Okay, difficult situations. They have to take their job seriously. Yeah, exactly. Really good. And then also Valeria, excellent. I think that what a teacher, musician, and doctor should have in common is the passion for their job. Excellent. Yeah, exactly. They should have passion for their job. Yeah, exactly. So passionate. So you can say it both ways. So they should have passion for their job, or you can say also they can be passionate about their job. So they could be passionate. So to be passionate, you can say it in both ways. Both are correct. To be passionate about their job. Okay, to be because we say passionate about something, but you can say, yeah, they have a passion for their job. Okay, so that's perfect as well, the way you said it. So both ways are okay. Excellent. Okay, really good. So it's funny because my father, so I'm a teacher, obviously, and my father is a police officer in Ireland. And I would say that Marcelo, yeah, he is serious about his job, but obviously not when he's with us because he's just himself. He's my dad. But I think something that is very important in his job is that he is reliable and dependable. Okay, so reliable. Let me know if there's any of these that you don't understand. So reliable, dependable. Um, and also he's very, like, for him, he's a very trustworthy person. Okay, he's a very trustworthy person. So he is a person who people, even if he has to give them difficult news or to explain something to them that cannot be done, that they want to be done, people can rely on him and trust him that what he's saying is okay, which I think is important for someone who works in the police as well, and obviously so that they're not doing anything wrong as well. So trustworthy. And something as well, I would say, both he and I are, like, we're both approachable. So to be an approachable person. So to be approachable means that people don't have a problem. They're not, you're so open that people think they can come and talk to you. They can talk to you about their problems or even to discuss something with you. So very open to conversation, I would say, or offering help as well. Like, people often come to me and ask for help with really small things as well. So a person who's approachable is kind of like that. They're, you can go to them to talk about something or to discuss something. Okay, excellent. So Francesco, so the doctor could be introverted, okay, introverted or extroverted indifferently. Okay, so yeah, they could be both. The important thing is that the doctor known, understood, and that he explained well what will happen. Okay, so I think what you mean here is that the doctor is known or is known to be understanding, maybe, because the doctor is understanding, we would say. He is understanding if we're to describe him. Okay, he is understanding. Okay, he's understanding. Or if you're talking about being understood in terms of explaining something, we can say he is easily. So it's a bit different. So he is easily understood. Understood. Be easily understood because they explain what will happen. So he is easily understood. So we can say that in different ways. Okay, really, really good. Okay, and let me know if any of the vocabulary I'm using, if you haven't heard it before, I can explain it even more. Very good, Olga. Excellent example. Okay, so a police officer should be balanced. Okay, very, very good. So to be balanced, yeah, so means as well, you can talk about to be balanced in terms of, having a view, understanding both sides of an argument or a dispute as well. And also in terms of being stable themselves, so that they're a very balanced person. They're very, I guess, that they can withstand difficulty, because you need to sometimes deal with really difficult things. So you need to have a very strong personality. Really good point. Yeah, exactly. And Marcelo says, I agree with you. Reliable is a perfect adjective. Yeah, they also can be easygoing. Yeah, exactly. So here we can say again, we can put the article. They also can be an easygoing person. An easygoing person. Yeah, exactly. So an easygoing person. So easygoing, just in case you don't know it. So it's someone who, is quite relaxed. Okay, quite relaxed. So someone who is easygoing, they're relaxed, and maybe their approach is very, no problem, Francesco, that's fine. You can go. Maybe it's time for dinner. Thanks for joining anyway, Francesco. Yeah, so someone who's easygoing, they're very relaxed, and they don't get they don't have a when something bad comes up, they don't get too stressed, which can be important as well. If you're dealing with something that is very difficult, you don't get very stressed, so you actually take everything kind of calmly, very calmly. Excellent. Okay, really good. So guys, what I want to do with you then, so before we continue a little bit, I want to talk a little bit about, okay, so here, I'm going to go here. So some other compound adjectives. So sorry, easygoing, I should have put my dash between it. So we want to match the compound adjectives to the description. Okay, so to match the adjective to the description. Okay, so in this case, here, so take a look at them, okay, and match them to the definition. Okay, you don't have to write the whole thing. If you want, you can just write the term and the following word. Okay, so the word that matches the description. Okay, so take a look at these. There's quite a few of them, and just match them to the description. Okay, so match them to the description. Okay, okay, so I'm going to read through them. And while I'm reading, just try and match. So the different compound adjectives we're looking at are easygoing. So we already talked about that a little bit. Tight-fisted. Okay, tight-fisted. Okay, it's quite a funny compound adjective to be tight-fisted. Big-headed. Okay, so big-headed is another one. Then well-behaved. Okay, well-behaved. Self-assured. And bad-tempered. Okay, so in this case, okay, so we want to match them up to the equivalent definition. So looking at these, easygoing, which of the definitions do you think matches to easygoing? Okay, so we have the different definitions. We have easily annoyed or angered, someone who behaves correctly, arrogant, relaxed, unwilling to spend money, and someone confident in their own abilities. So which one do you guys think matches to easygoing? Okay, so write in the comments. I know there can be a little bit of a delay sometimes with the comments, so it might take a while for these to come through with your answers, but don't worry. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys give your answers first. Okay, fantastic. I was going to describe some things, but okay, Valeria has it. So easygoing, relaxed. Fantastic. Okay, really, really good. So someone who's easygoing, we can also say that they are relaxed. Fantastic. Okay, and Francesco, welcome. Okay, so then the next one, someone who is tight-fisted. Okay, tight-fisted. What do you think it means for someone who is tight-fisted? Okay. And sorry, that screen has gone blurry. I'm just going to fix it now. Okay. So just take a second for it to fix. Sorry now, guys. Okay, you're going to just have me on the screen for a second. Hello. Okay, should be coming back now. There we go. Okay, so tight-fisted. So sorry about that, just a connection issue. So can you see a description for someone who is tight-fisted? Okay. So yeah, it's quite a funny one, tight-fisted. We also have alternatives for tight-fisted as well. So it's not a compound adjective, obviously, but someone who is cheap. So we can say tight-fisted, someone who is cheap. Also, we could say cheap, or also maybe, yeah, exactly, excellent. So sometimes we even say tight, so someone who is tight-fisted, also tight for short, or also just, okay, I'm going to put those there. Excellent. So really good, guys. So Francesco and Valeria, fantastic. So someone who is tight-fisted is someone who is unwilling to spend money. Okay, someone who's unwilling to spend money. So just to explain here, so these are kind of some alternative terms. So I know cheap you have for things that are quite cheap, so they don't cost much. But sometimes we also use cheap to describe a person who is unwilling to spend money. Oh, he's really cheap. So he's a very cheap person, he doesn't like to spend money. Okay, and in Ireland, we also say tight for short. So tight is short for tight-fisted. So he's really tight. It means he doesn't like to spend money. Okay, so it's just an alternative. Okay, so really, really good. And then the next one is big-headed. So what description do you think goes for someone who is big-headed? Okay, someone who's big-headed. Okay, another one, just to give you another term for this. Oh, perfect. So someone who is big-headed is also, we would often say, he's very, or she, whoever, they're very full of themselves. Someone who is full of themselves, another way to describe this. Okay, so we might say someone who's big-headed. An alternative, we might say, oh, he's really full of himself. He's really full of himself. Okay, so just to let you know, in case you hadn't heard that before. So yeah, someone who is full of themselves. Okay, so full of yourself just means, okay, you're gonna get the answer from what I say, but just that they love themselves. They're very impressed by themselves. Excellent. Okay, really good, guys. That's fantastic. So yeah, to be big-headed is to be arrogant. Okay, excellent. And the next one is well-behaved. Okay, so well-behaved. So remember, when we talk about behavior, we're talking about how someone composes themselves. Okay, so how they act with people, also how if they have good manners, if they're polite. Okay, if they're polite. So to be well behaved. think it's quite clear which one this matches to. Fantastic. Okay, excellent. Someone who behaves correctly. Brilliant. And then someone who is self-assured. Okay, someone who is self-assured. Okay, so we would use this saying he is a very self-assured person. Okay, very self-assured person. Okay, so I'll just give you a chance to answer that one. And then the last one is very obvious because it's the only one left. Okay. Exactly. Fantastic. Really good, guys. That's excellent. So someone who's self-assured is someone who is confident in their own abilities. Okay, so very self-assured. They're confident. They know what they're good at. Exactly. And then bad-tempered, so it's the last one, so it's very easy. So bad-tempered, easily annoyed or angered. Okay, bad-tempered. And just to mention about someone who's bad-tempered, sometimes we would say, and maybe you've heard me say this before in lessons, so someone who's bad-tempered, we might say he has a short fuse. Okay, he has a short fuse. So in this case, he has a short fuse. It means he reacts. Um, he reacts quickly in a bad situation. So he is quick to get angry, basically. So he has a short fuse. He gets he gets angry or annoyed easily. Okay, angry or annoyed easily. So this is just another way to say this. Okay, so I'm just going to share that with you guys. Okay, so someone who's bad-tempered, he has a short fuse is a way to say it. So if we say he is bad-tempered, he has a short fuse. It's the equivalent. And then he gets angry or annoyed easily. Fantastic. Okay. So guys, please let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Okay, so any questions on those? Okay, so then, so like we say, first person, I am. We can use these. So I am easygoing or I am self-assured. And then for the third person, we can say he or she is to describe these. Okay, so can you think of any famous people? Okay, so some we may have mentioned already. Uh, so can you think of any famous people who could be described by one or maybe two of these compound adjectives? Okay, so think of an example. So you can write to me in the comments. So someone, even someone you know, doesn't have to be a famous person. So if they have one of these characteristics, and why are they that way? Okay, so think of an example and try to describe what they're like. Okay, so try to describe what they're like. Okay, so take take any example. So it could be Donald Trump. It could be Donald Trump. It could be anyone. It could be a famous, I don't know, blogger or a famous actress or singer. Okay, so anyone like this. So if any of these relate to these descriptions. Okay. So I'll try and think of an example. I'm trying to think of a nice example. Okay, actually, again, speaking about my father, because I talked about him earlier. So I can say my father is very easygoing. In general, he never lets anything get to him. Okay, so he never lets anything bother him too much. Okay, so when it comes to work, he's very good at separating. Okay, he separates his personal life from his work as well. So he kind of, he has to, because sometimes what he deals with can be very difficult. So he decides to take a break from it. Okay, really good. Okay, excellent. So we have some examples already. So Prince William from England is supposed to be well behaved. Okay, so supposed to be in that case, so that's really funny. You both just described royal family members. It's excellent. Oh, it's like you planned it. Fantastic. Okay, really, really good. That's hilarious. um, okay, so just Francesca, just to ask, so when we say supposed to be, because in that way, do you mean you assume you're guessing? Because supposed to be, it kind of sounds like you're questioning if he is. Yeah, I know, it's hilarious. It's really funny. That's a complete coincidence. Complete coincidence. It's really funny. So yeah, because we would say he is meant to be, probably to make it more like that's his intention. He is meant to be well behaved. But supposed to be kind of sounds like you're questioning that he should be well behaved, but he isn't. Okay. But really good, yeah, well behaved and excellent. So his wife, so Valeria says, in my opinion, Kate Middleton is well behaved. She seems very polite and kind. Okay, excellent. Okay, so very polite and kind. Excellent. So yeah, that's perfect. So Francesco, so you said I meant we all expect him to be. Yeah, so kind of because you say supposed to be, it kind of sounds like you're questioning it because it sounds like he isn't actually. So we could say instead just he is meant to be or he should be. Prince William should be. He should be well behaved. Okay, he should be well behaved. And because sometimes if we say, for example, like Donald Trump is supposed to be good at making decisions, but actually he isn't. So supposed to be, it's saying someone should be this, but they're not. So we usually say it's a contradiction. It's a contradiction. Or you can just phrase it that way, Francesco, like you said. So, like Prince William is expected to be. He's expected to be well behaved. It works better that way. Really good. So guys, let me know if you have any other descriptions coming in. That's fantastic. Okay, really, really good. I enjoyed those. And they're the same, so it's really funny. Excellent. So please keep coming with your examples. Yes, exactly. That's fantastic. Yeah, so Francesco, you could have said it about Harry, because Harry he's supposed to be well behaved, but we all know he really kind of isn't sometimes. So yeah, like it's a contradiction in this case. So we would say Prince Harry is supposed to be loyal to his family or something like this, just as a joke. Okay, really good. So we have a lot of vocabulary in this lesson. So I hope it's helpful for you guys. And please, if you're still writing descriptions or if they haven't come in, please let them still come through. Okay, so I want to just look here. So two-faced. Okay, so this exercise, two-faced. So just to describe that term first. So someone who is two-faced. So you can't trust them. Okay, so someone who is not trustworthy, they're two-faced. Okay, so someone who is two-faced, they're not trustworthy. Oh my God, where is my dash? I can't find the dash. Okay, sorry guys. I can't find the dash to make, so two-faced. Anyway, someone who is two-faced is untrustworthy. Okay, untrustworthy. Sorry, I can't find the little dash on my keyboard. I've lost it. Okay, so fantastic, Marcel. Hugh Laurie, Dr. House, is bad-tempered. Oh, very good. He's bad-tempered both as a person and as an actor. Excellent. Okay, really good. Bad-tempered. Fantastic. Okay, really, really good. So he, in reality and in fiction, he's bad-tempered. That's a great example. Okay, so someone who's two-faced is untrustworthy. Then someone who is thick-skinned. Okay, thick-skinned. So if you think about it, someone who is thick-skinned, so they have a strong outer layer. Okay, a strong outer layer. Okay, so someone who's thick-skinned. So that is a person who they're not very sensitive. They're the opposite to sensitive. Okay, thick-skinned. Okay, so they have a strong outer layer. Okay, so to their personality, they don't react. So they don't react easily. So I guess the opposite to someone who is quick-tempered. Okay, easily. Okay, so someone who's thick-skinned. So guys, while I'm describing these words, if you want to just take a look, so you can take a look at the sentences and match them into the thing. So you can just write the number and which one you think goes in. Okay, so which one you think goes in. So just take a look at these. Then someone who is narrow-minded. So if you think of narrow like this, okay, so narrow. So the opposite to narrow-minded. So narrow-minded, like we said, it's a little bit like closed-minded. So closed-minded, narrow-minded, and they're very similar. So closed-minded is equal to narrow-minded. Okay, so you have so we kind of aren't very open to new ideas, to different cultures, things like this. So someone who is narrow-minded. Okay, and then someone who is strong-willed. So I would say someone who is strong-willed is very determined. Okay, strong-willed, a very determined person. Okay, determined. And also sometimes there's someone who is very difficult to argue with. Okay, so someone who's very difficult to argue with is strong-willed. Okay, they're very determined. Okay, and then warm-hearted. Okay, so warm-hearted, a warm-hearted person. That's, I don't think I need to describe that. It just means they're very kind. Okay, they're very kind. So match the compound adjective. Okay, the compound adjective to the number. Okay, to the correct number. Okay, so take a look at these and match them. So write to me in the comments and just put the number and which one it should be. So for example, you can put number 1 and which you think it should be. So I don't trust her. She is fantastic. Okay, Valeria, straight away. She is two-faced. Brilliant. Okay, really, really good. So I don't trust her. She is two-faced. Fantastic. Really, really good. And then number 2, a good doctor should be caring and so what can we put there? So what do you think? What do you think is most suitable for number 2, guys? So we have our options: thick-skinned, narrow-minded, strong-willed, and warm-hearted. And we've already used two-faced. Fantastic. Okay, really good, Valeria and Francesco. So warm-hearted. So to be caring and warm-hearted. Yeah, so they are warm-hearted, so they're kind. Okay, warm-hearted. Excellent. Really, really good. And then my manager never listens to me. He is very... Okay, so what could we put there? So he never listens to me. He is very... Okay, so I'll give you some time to answer those. So number 3, my manager never listens to me. He is very... Excellent. Again, really good. Perfect. You're both on the ball. So he is very narrow-minded. So yeah, like I said, narrow-minded means you're closed-minded. So you're not open to new ideas. You're very, so we would sometimes say very set. So to be set in your ways, set in your ways. So it means that you are not open to new experiences or new ideas. So in that case, we can say he's very narrow-minded. He's very set in his ways, to new ideas or experiences. Okay. Oh God, I just really misspelled experiences. 1 second. Okay, perfect. So just to mention, yeah, so someone who's narrow-minded, we can say they are very set in their ways. Okay, so you're not open to new ideas or experiences. Okay, and then number 4. So guys, take a look and let me know what you think should go in here. Lewis isn't affected by negative criticism. He is... What is he? So we have 2 options left. So take away narrow-minded, and we just have 2 options left. So he isn't affected. Okay, so remember it's a negative, so he is not affected by negative criticism. Fantastic. Okay, really good. Gold stars for everyone. He is thick-skinned. Okay, thick-skinned. So you're not easily affected by something if you're thick-skinned. Okay, you're not easily affected. Okay, it's the opposite to someone who is sensitive. Okay, so if you say someone is sensitive, they're easily affected, they're easily upset or sad by something. But to be thick-skinned, you're very strong when it comes to these types of things. And then the last one, very obviously, so I'll just read it. Amy's determination inspires me. She is so strong-willed. Okay, so strong-willed. So as I said, someone who is strong-willed is very determined. Okay, they're very, very determined. Excellent. Okay, really, really good. Fantastic, guys. So that's great work. Okay, so we're almost finished the webinar, okay? But what I would like you to do, so just for the last few minutes, so could you describe maybe, okay, so describe your... Okay, so it can be either a family member. So like I did, I was describing my father a lot. So describe your best friend. So it can be friend or family, or a family member. Okay, a family member. So just using, okay, so using some of the adjectives or the descriptions that we use in the lesson. Okay, using some of the vocabulary. Okay. So using some of the vocabulary, not just these, but other ones that we had in the lesson, you can use that to write a quick description. So just a line of a description of someone you know. So a person, so it can be a family member or best friend. Okay, so write view that. Sorry, guys. Hello? Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's the wind. Maybe it's the wind. But yeah, so what I would like you to do just for the last couple of minutes, so write a description in the comments. So just in case you didn't hear that, a description in the comments of someone, so can be a good friend of yours or a family member. So using some of the new vocabulary. Okay, so just to describe their personality. Okay, their personality. Okay, so just to practice. And maybe if you want, you can explain why they are that way. So maybe it's their job, type of person. Okay, so we just have a couple of minutes. Just a quick sentence, okay, just to practice. And then in the meantime, I'll also describe one of my friends. So I would say my friend Jessica is a very warm-hearted person. She's a very warm-hearted person. She's always thinking of others. She's very considerate. And also she's a very creative person as well. And she works full time and she studies, and also she like helps her family a lot. So she's very strong-willed, determined person. Okay, fantastic. So we have Valeria wrote an example here. My flatmate is warm-hearted, thick-skinned, and easygoing. Fantastic. Okay, really, really good. brilliant. That's loads of the phrases. And then Francesco says, I see Dario, a really good friend of mine, as a very strong-willed person and very sensitive as well. He so remember, I think that's just a typo. He understands. Fantastic, you got it. He understands other people's feelings pretty often. Okay, really good. Excellent. That's fantastic. Really good example. Brilliant. And just I'll give you another couple seconds in case anyone else is writing. Okay, but then I have to finish up, unfortunately. Okay, so I know it takes a little while for the messages to come through. But yeah, before I finish, guys, thank you so much for your amazing participation. It was really lovely talking to you all this evening, and excellent work. You showed really good understanding of the vocabulary and really good descriptions. So really, really good. And just another couple of seconds just to check if there's another one, if Marcelo is writing one. I don't want to leave before I read it. Okay. But yeah, then I want to let you guys go and have your dinner because I'm sure you're ready for your dinner at this point. Okay, unfortunately I have to go. I'm sorry if I missed the last description, but really well done, guys. Have a fantastic evening. And yeah, hope to see you soon in another webinar. Okay, oh, there we go, Marcelo. My father is an easygoing person and warm-hearted. Oh, he's a vet. Okay, lovely. Excellent. Okay, I got there. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.